Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Eva and I am a millennial who is absolutely obsessed with makeup. In today's video, we are going to be talking, reviewing, and wear testing the new Ilia Skin Rewind Complexion Stick. Now, this launched this week and it was kind of a stealthy launch. I don't know, I wasn't seeing a lot of buzz about it before it launched. I had no idea it was launching. I was trying to resist any more makeup purchases from Sephora until the big sale in April, but I did a poll on the community tab and it seemed like a lot of you were interested in this review. So, took one for the team and bought this, and we will be testing this today. Before we get into the product, I would love for you to subscribe if you are not already subscribed. Also, would love if you follow me on Instagram. I do a lot of short form content over on Instagram that doesn't make it over to YouTube, and I cover a lot of other makeup products that I just unfortunately don't have time to squeeze into YouTube videos. So definitely go and check me out over on Instagram. Let's talk more about this particular launch. So the skin tint retails for $48 and it comes in a bunch of shades. I don't even know how many shades this is. I'll put the number up on the screen, but a bunch of shades, and each shade range does come with a warm, neutral, and cool tone, which doesn't happen for every foundation range. Like sometimes they'll just be like one very pale shade and then immediately move into light. But here in this lineup, from what I'm seeing, there's a nice gradation, I think that's the right word, of shades. So you can really find, fingers crossed, hopefully your undertone in the shade range that you actually need. Now, I did the little Sephora quiz and it said I was the shade 3W Spruce. Looking online, I thought I was going to be 4N, but long story, I went into Sephora and it said they had them in stock, but they were only in the back and they couldn't find the 4N. So they did bring out the 3W and let me test it. And it seemed like it was going to be a good match, but I was also wearing makeup. So we'll have to see how it actually looks on my skin. Now for the claims of this product, reading from the Sephora site, the claims are that it is a long wear, skincare powered complexion stick that blurs instantly and visibly firms and smooths over time. The coverage is medium, the finish is natural, and the formulation is a stick. Some ingredients to highlight: ceramide peptide complex, winged kelp extract, okay, butterfly lavender, which allegedly helps with wrinkles. Yeah, so those are the claims. The claims are that it's going to make me look luminous and help smooth over my wrinkles. Let's talk packaging now. I love this packaging. I feel like it's really, like, I don't know, like artistic almost. Like it has like a nice little indent here and then it has like a divot at the top. I don't know, I just feel like they're trying to do something a little different, which I appreciate. It does come in like a plastic component, and then this is what the product looks like. I will be doing some shade comparisons later on my arm, comparing this particular shade to the shades that I have in the Westman Atelier stick foundation, and then also in the Fenty stick foundation. That way, if you already own those products, you can see how this shade compares. Let's do a quick little hand swatch. Okay, it's looking a little dark. I'm a little scared. It's looking a little dark. Let me blend this out. Okay, when I blend out, it's not too bad. I did also spray a little bit of my Saint Tropez like tanning face spray. So hopefully by like midday, if this doesn't match now, it will by midday. But let's go ahead and just apply it. One thing I want to note right off the bat is I feel like it's stiffer than a lot of other stick foundations that I'm used to based on that little hand swatch, but we will see how it looks on the skin. I'm gonna do just like one line here. Oh, wow. Okay, that actually is a pretty good match in my opinion. Okay, not bad at all. And then I'm just gonna kind of draw it on like this. And then we'll blend and stop there, and then we'll see if we need to apply more product. For a stick foundation, I like to blend out with a makeup brush first, and then I go in with my damp beauty sponge at the end to just, I don't know, like liven it back up. So let's go ahead and use my normal technique. Let's use the 109 wavy brush from Makeup Forever. State of Kate here on YouTube introduced me to this brush, and it has become a quick foundation brush favorite. Okay, this shade match is actually pretty good. When I'm next in Sephora and they actually have the entire lineup out, I do want to try 4N just to compare, but I think this was a good choice. Okay, blended that out, and I'm not real, like this is light coverage, like barely there coverage. Right now this is giving me more of a skin tint as opposed to medium coverage, but again, I barely applied any of the product, so we will go back and apply more. Oh, I have this really bad dry patch on my chin I was trying to get rid of. Okay, so we are gonna apply a bunch more to the face. And now that I feel like I've warmed up the product a little bit, it's gliding easier on the skin, but still it feels much stiffer to me than the Fenty like skin tint that's in the stick form, and feels stiffer than the Westman Atelier one as well. Okay, I think this is nice coverage. Pretty good. I don't think I need much more. I'm gonna apply just a little more to this area here and a little more on my forehead because I want to see how it builds. Also, I want to mention that there is thankfully no scent. I know some people had major issues with the way the Ilia like serum tint smelled. It never really bothered me. It just smelled like skincare ingredients. But this one does not smell like that. So if that is a concern of yours, release it from your pretty little mind because there is no scent. Okay. That's like about the coverage that I typically do. I don't like to do heavy coverage, so this is more on the light to medium side, I would say, the way that would probably translate to someone else. I am now going to take my dampened beauty sponge and just pat this in. Also, these are the softest sponges ever. I will have them linked down below. And they're the best, and they're like $10 for maybe a pack of 10, so. Okay, this looks really, really nice so far. First impression is I am very hopeful, but things can always go downhill, so we can't get too excited yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my concealer, and then I'm going to take a little video on my iPhone up close of what you can see the complexion. Oh my god, I cannot talk. So you can see what my complexion looks like immediately after application, and then I'm going to do the rest of my makeup, show you how it wears under my makeup, and then we're going to do a bunch of check-ins throughout the day. So I will be back, but next time you see me will be on the iPhone. Okay, so here is the complexion immediately after application, and then I applied a little bit of the Natasha Denona concealer. So far, so good, but I will apply the rest of my makeup and then come back to show you what it looks like. Okay, quick change of scenery. So here we have my makeup over the foundation stick. Everything applied nice, like everything applied very normally. I will say, I feel like there are a few spots where the foundation is kind of lifting already on the forehead, which I'm not loving, but early days, early days. So we will continue to do check-ins throughout the day to see how this wears. So I will catch you in a little bit. Okay, we are at around the 2-hour check-in mark. Foundation is still wearing pretty well. I will say though, when it's not picking it up necessarily on camera super well, but in the mirror, I am not seeing this being smoothing whatsoever. If anything, I feel like it's actually emphasizing my pores and texture. So this lighting right now is pretty flattering. So it is kind of blurring my pores, but I do want to mention that in harsher lighting, it's really emphasizing my pores. And I'm going to keep assessing to figure out, is it just that I was in really harsh lighting or is it the foundation itself? But so far I'm like I'm not loving it, I'm not hating it, it's fine. So maybe by our 3 or 4 check-in, we will start to notice a little more of a difference and maybe formulate more of an opinion on how I'm feeling about the foundation. Hi, we are doing like a 3-hour checkup. I'm actually in my bathroom right now because my bathroom has really unflattering lighting, and I think it's the best way to actually show you some of the issues I'm having with this foundation. Also, I think it's helpful to go into crappy lighting every once in a while because that's the lighting the majority of us are in when we're out and about in the real world. So in my opinion, it's a better way to understand how a product is going to look to other people when they're looking at you. So one of the issues I'm having is it's breaking up on my chin already, and my skin is dry. So it's not oil that's breaking it up. It's more so emphasizing some of those dry spots. And then I'm also getting like some like emphasis on dry spots around my nose. And then here I have a dry spot and it's really emphasizing. And it's just really emphasizing my texture. It's not like the worst foundation ever, but when I actually inspect it up close, I'm not obsessed. So we'll continue to see how it wears and do another check-in. But right now, I'm feeling like I'm probably going to end up returning this, but we will see. Hi, we are doing another check-in. I am like maybe 4 or 5 hours in. And one thing I will say is that the foundation it's not getting like worse. I feel like the issues that I was having within hour 1 are still the same issues. So it's not getting any worse. But obviously it's not getting better. So we still have like the foundation breaking down a little bit on my forehead, not really showing up on camera, but you can see around the nose area, on the nose here, you can see my gross dry skin. And then on the chin, it's being emphasized a little bit. So that's where we're at. This will probably be my final check-in before I do my overall recap and thoughts later on. Hello, we are at the end of the day. I have been wearing the Ilia foundation for around 8 hours, and I want to bring it all home, let you know how my face is looking at the end of the day. Some of what I'm talking about is not going to show up on camera. I don't use face filters. I don't use any sort of filter on my camera, but this lighting is pretty flattering. So what I'm going to describe, you may not be able to see, but take my word for it. So looking at my face right now, what I'm seeing is I am seeing an emphasis on my dry patches on my chin, foundation breaking down around the nose area, and then a lot of breakdown of the foundation here on the nose, and then quite a bit on the forehead. And I normally don't have any sort of foundation breaking down on the forehead whatsoever. and I used my normal skincare routine. So I made sure I didn't try anything new. The only thing is my skin is extra dry right now because I've been using some self tanner so that I'm not looking as deadly as I have been, but that shouldn't be impacting the breakdown of the foundation, especially because I've been using this fake tanner for a while and I've never noticed an issue. So I did want to give that thought. Now, overall, I mean, as you could see from the check-ins, there were quite a few issues. This foundation isn't terrible, but for me, it's way too drying and it's not flattering. Like, it claims that it is hydrating, that it's going to blur imperfections. For me, it emphasized them. Now, again, I have very, very dry skin, so maybe someone with oilier skin this could work for, but for me, I'm gonna say it's a no. It's not terrible, but would I willingly reach for this again? No. So I will definitely be returning it because I will not continue using it. The shade match, I will say, is really nice. So the shades are really good. So maybe if you have oily skin and you're curious, you could pick it up during the Sephora sale and try it out, or go in store, try it, keep it on for a couple hours and decide how you like it. But I'm not going to be recommending it, unfortunately. I really wanted to work out, but it's $48 and it's not that good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert swatches on my arm comparing the shade 3W Spruce from Ilia to my Fenty stick foundation and then my Westman Atelier foundations. That will also give you a better idea of coverage as well. So I will insert that clip here talking about those foundations. Okay, so now for some shade and finish comparisons. We have the Ilia foundation stick in 3W here, and then we have the Fenty Eaze Blur Tint stick, which I'm obsessed with, in shade 2, and these are nearly identical in shade. And then this is definitely more of a summer shade for me. This is the Westman Atelier stick foundation, and this is in the shade Atelier 1. And then we have the Westman Atelier stick foundation again in my like winter shade, and this is in the shade Atelier 0.5, which is much more similar to these two. So I would say if you are shade 2 in Fenty or shade 0.5 in Westman Atelier, the 3W from Ilia will be a great match. Hopefully it's picking up on camera, but the Ilia one is definitely like the mattest of them. Like, I'm just like wiping through it. There's not like any sort of, I don't know, it's not as like creamy as the other stick foundations. Whereas when I'm like rubbing through the Westman Atelier and the Fenty one, there's a lot more like mobility to the foundation. The Ilia one is just a lot drier and a lot stiffer on the skin. I hope this video was helpful. I really appreciate if you tuned in to the very end. If you are not already, please subscribe. Also follow me on Instagram, and then I will have some more videos coming out soon. I'm gonna do start my declutter series, and then I've been testing a bunch of blushes, and then just in general, I have a lot of new makeup that came in. So as soon as I have time, I will be back with more videos.